Hey, what's up? Check day 22, I think. And, if you can't see behind me, it's a torrential downpour. I mean, a gosh darn golly washer out here. So, got me thinking, how can I manage my time and what could I do? So, I can do a lot of stuff in the shop right now. So, when it's real dreary out, wet, shitty ass weather, whatever it could be, if you can get your ass in the shop and do something that's going to be productive and efficient for your future and upcoming line, that's where you want to be. Now, what I'm going to do, all this rain's going to knock the flies down huge. So it's going to be easy pickings for me to run out to the shop, start working on my stuff, my bait, my lure, any ingredients I need to get out and mix, any other glands or products I need to get out and mix. Everything's going to be pretty smooth sailing when it comes to insect-wise. I don't deal with hardly any insects when it starts raining like it does. So when you start thinking about being just efficient in the off-season, you start to roll that over into being efficient and line management in season. So you want to think of the things that you can do that are going to decrease your time and increase your efficiency, which will ultimately give you an abundance of success or whatever you're trying to catch, whatever animal you're after. Now, doing some of the just the small things in the off season, whether it's getting your dirt ready, whether it's getting your grass ready, getting your permissions lined up, getting your permission slip signed, knowing where the drainages are, knowing where the waterways are or the draws are, where the dead piles are, knowing all that stuff is going to be super efficient. Being intimate, really, getting intimate with your property is something that is going to be a game changer. And you can say, oh, I go to this property and it hasn't really produced. Well, did they used to have an old fence row that ran through that was tilled out or bulldozed out, and now it's just all crop, but there's like a slight hill that cuts through the middle with like a little, some people could call them like a hog back or something, like a small little ridge that winds over, that's pretty long. That's a good area to pick up canine, and just a lot of people don't realize that. And one thing, if you're trying to go from a standpoint of being more efficient on the canine line, you could look into setting away from the field edges. So if you got like a tree line and a field and they're running parallel to each other, set out in the field a decent little ways. I'm talking like 15-25 feet, and you'll see some of the areas that pertain to this, like where they pulled the gravity wagon through or they pulled the hay wagon through, and you get nice beaten down paths. You'll see where some of this stuff is. Now, when it comes to like being in a bean field or a cornfield and you see where a gravity wagon came through, it's going to be a pretty significant stretch of piece. Well, you just want to find the best spot that is suitable for you and suitable for your dynamics. Set that piece. Don't go up to the wood line and set right, wood line here, and you're setting your trap here. I'm wanting you to set your trap all the way out here. And I'm not just saying on any type of field stretch that's buttoned up next to a wood line. I'm talking like where a good spot, a good location is, whether it's a ditch running into a fence line or a windbreak, a big huge ass rock pile that's on the edge of a field. Set these areas, look for those areas, and become more efficient in the things that you're trying to accomplish. So I want to dive a little bit more into the efficiency thing or into the line management. It was definitely a topic that I was wanting to hit on and discuss. So I kind of want to be a little bit more in order and go about it that way, and then maybe give like a second part to this, or a second and a third part to this, and just go over my opinion and what I do to help myself become more efficient, not only on the trap line or in the off season, but also during the trap line and, coming into the end of season. So I'll keep that in mind, and when I go through, I will try and do like a stepwise fashion of what I do, just so that everyone can, and I can be transparent with everybody, and everyone is kind of on the same page. So if you want to see anything, or if you want to talk about anything, drop me a comment below. Just let me know, and I'll definitely make sure that I read through them and write them down, go through them, and I look forward to it, honestly. So I'll see you, man. Off season day 21, and man, today was hot. I just got out of work, but whew, man, it's toasty outside, muggy too. So I'm on my way home, but I always talk about having like daily hurdles that you got to overcome and face whenever you're out on the trap line, and that that kind of follows through to just everyday life. So sometimes you have some hurdles, and I've definitely had a couple, especially here yesterday. I had a nice little issue that came up, and thought about it for quite a while and made a decision today, and I'm going to stick with that decision and move forward. So with that being said, I've had issues on the trap line before, running trap line, and you have someone steal your trap, or you have your tenant, someone who rents the property, gives you shit because you're on their land, or their rented land, but you have permission to be on it. So just some of these hurdles can be taken care of just if you have a little bit better communication, especially with the people who do rent the land, or some of the, I understand you shouldn't have to go out and tell everybody that you're setting traps. I totally agree with that. But I guess if there's going to be a problem area, but it's a really good area to set traps at, might be beneficial for you to go and have a conversation with the individual. And that way you can overcome that hurdle before you even, before it blindsides you pretty much. So a lot of things that I really, really need to still get done. I've got the traps washed, got them cleaned. Got to finish up putting springs on some of the traps. I've got plenty of traps. And then I've got to get ready and get all my water traps ready. So I've got to get my water line going. And I'm going to probably run a pretty substantial water line. And then still going to go out west and trap coyotes. So I don't know all the time frames, but I'm definitely going to be running a water line early on, and then going out west. Probably I'm not going to Kansas. I don't go to Kansas. I've never trapped in Kansas. So there's that. But I will probably go out west, or go west of Ohio somewhere, and trap for coyotes. And I'm probably going to go at it alone, or take my wife and daughter. So that's going to be, that's going to be the plan moving forward, which I've talked to the majority of the landowners, actually pretty much all the landowners out there, got the green light to go ahead and still come. So we'll end up doing that. If I can, I'll have my wife and daughter come with me. See if we can't wrangle up a mess of coyotes and help out the landowners out there. And so, other than that, I am excited to do that. I have some goals that I want to, it's good to have big goals, and it's okay if you don't always hit those big goals, but it's good to have big goals to reach and chase after. And that's definitely something that I'm going to do. I'm going to try and do 2 weeks out west and 2 full weeks. And knock on wood, everything goes smooth and everything. I mean, as smooth as it can go, but no like major tragedy or catastrophe or family emergency or anything like that. We'll definitely be getting out and trying to go after some decent numbers. I don't know. I've heard of guys doing like 500 in a month out west. So, you know, I don't have that time that I can just say I got to go out for a whole month. I'm going to go out for 2 weeks. If the weather's cooperative and, you know, all the stars align, and I don't even have some of the stars align, you know, and then you just plan your ass off for the trip. I'm thinking maybe potentially 300 coyotes and 2 weeks by myself. My wife and daughter will be there, but my daughter's 4 and my wife doesn't set traps. And she might help me bring my bag and stuff, or, you know, grab something for me, but she won't be setting any traps. But she might not be able to go. She might not be able to get off work, and then my daughter will have to miss a lot of preschool, which I really don't care. If she misses preschool, she'll probably learn a lot more and have a lot more fun out with us. So, and then I don't have to worry about them being home alone or whatever. So, not that I really do worry, but it's a constant thought. Not that I do worry, but it's a constant thought. It's a daily thought, I should say, when I'm out there. You know, just make sure that they're safe, that they're doing okay. So, but the water line, I'm going to run a couple weekend trap line if I can get some long weekends, or if I can even get like 5 days, maybe two or 3 days off in the week, and then have the weekend off. That would be really cool. So, see if we can't get something planned out there, and run a mix line here on the home line. Run a mix line. Really try and hit it hard though with going after like raccoon, mink, and then see if I can't pick up quite a few fox and coyotes along the way as well. Today, when I get home, I know my wife said she was out pulling weeds in the garden, so got that going. Hopefully I don't have to, I mean, if she needs help, I'll get out there and help her, but plan on really working on stuff in the shop and finishing up some of these baits. I keep saying baits, but finishing up some of these lures, so these squirtable lures. And I'm really just tinkering with a few different things right now besides that. So still on the list, I got to go through and get all my screen cut up and ready to go for when I go out west. Got my peat moss dried. It's going to be drying out. I'm going to probably sift it and then have a couple bales ready to go out west. I already have, I think, a bale or 2 out there, so when I stay at the house, I should just be able to use that same stuff. I taped it up and put it in a bag, and landowner said it was fine if I left it there. So yeah, finish getting the peat moss, my dry dirt, and which it's already ready. I just want to get it all shifted over to those milk crates and put in Gatorade bottles or Powerade bottles, some sort of bottle. But after I get everything situated, I mean, I'll pretty much be ready to rock and roll. I'll just have to do some fine tuning, go over a few things, make sure my inventory is good, and I mean, I'm ready to rock. So we'll see how it pans out. Hopefully it pans out decent, and you know, hopefully we have a pretty successful year. If I can get into anything, or if I do get into anything today, I'll keep you posted, man. But I'll talk to you later.